Hi there. In this video, I'm going to be taking you through the online portfolio access given to you by your financial advisor. We'll see how the journey starts by accepting the invitation that your advisor has given you, and then how do you log in, how to set a username and password, how to log in using that, how to quickly log in using Google Sign In, and then we'll go into the basics of how your portal works, what all reports you can take out to see your portfolio in various ways, how to see the latest transactions being updated on the portal, and then from where to download the capital gain and income tax reports. And then we'll see quickly how the goal planner works and how to invest, switch, or redeem online. So the journey starts when your advisor sends you a login invitation. So the invitation mail might look like this, or it might be customized by your advisor, but it would basically contain a reset password link, and it would inform you what your username is, and it would also tell you the portfolio login page where you will have to go to log into the portfolio viewer. So you have to find the accept invitation button and then click on it to set a password for your account. So if I click on accept invitation, it will it will take you to the password reset page where you have to type in your password and then confirm the same. If I click on reset, this would reset the password and then I can use that to log in. So suppose I've reset the password, then I have the option to log in either on the mobile apps or on the web login. Right now, I'm going to take you through the web login. And if you want to see how the mobile app portal works, you can click on the suggested video on the top right corner, or I'll also put a link in the description below for the other demo video. So if we click on login, we will come to the dashboard. Over here, you can see your current value, which will be a total of all assets that you have in the portal, be it mutual funds, shares, fixed deposits, other assets. All the market value updated would be written over here. And similarly, a 1 day change would also be given, which would be the difference between the current value of today's date and the previous date. And the unrealized gain is also mentioned on the top. This is the total unrealized gain that you would make if you the total gain that you would make if you sell all your investments as on the current market price. The asset allocation between equity, debt, hybrid, and liquid is given as a pie chart over here. Your recent transactions are given on the right, which are categorized into purchase and redemptions. So in the purchase side, you can see SIPs, lump sum purchases, and switch-in transactions come here. All the redemption type of transactions come here. So this just basically gives you the top 5-6 transactions in the system. So you can use this to make sure to just quickly check if a new transaction that you did yesterday or the day before has come into the system or not. There is a journey graph on at the bottom where you can see how your current value has changed with time and what is the net investment at any given time. So this just plots a few points on the graph and shows you how your current value has changed in the chosen time period. So you can choose the current financial year, which would be 1st April of this year till today, and then it would show you how your net investment changes and how your current value fluctuates with the market. You can also see a since inception graph, which gives an interesting overview of how your entire journey with your advisor has been and how much money he has made for you. So the difference between the two is your total gain that the advisor has made for you, that you have made. Now you can we'll start to look at a few reports in this portal. Let's just first go to the transactions menu where you can see the list of transactions in the system. So by default it shows you the last 1 month transaction, but you can change this date to any past date and then view the transactions between these two dates on the top. So all these transactions are recorded in the system automatically at the backend, and are ready for you to view your portfolio. So you can filter this report by the transaction type, and you can take this report out as a Excel or a PDF report. So the PDF report sort of looks like this. It has all the transactions that you saw on the screen in a PDF format. If you want to take out a statement of the ELSS transactions that you have made for the financial year, you can choose the subcategory here as ELSS and then take out a PDF report. Now let's go to the portfolio report, the portfolio valuation report. There are a lot of configurations and a lot of ways that you can see this report. The most used one is the one that you can see on the screen. You can see your mutual funds and you can group by the folio holding. If I click on apply, it will show me the list of all the holdings I have, the scheme name, the purchase, the average purchase NAV, the cost of those units, the current NAV, and the current value. The balance units are mentioned here, and the unrealized gain is mentioned, which is a subtraction of current value minus purchase value. The average holding days are mentioned here, and the absolute return and the compounded annual growth rate, the CAGR, is also mentioned over here. So it is mentioned for all the schemes, and a total CAGR is also mentioned on the top right corner. You can sort on the current value to see how your most weighted funds are performing. If you click on any folio number, it will show you the list of transactions in that folio which are currently alive and not sold yet. So these are all the transactions of the units that you have held currently. So to the total balance units, at which date and how much price per each of the units bought, this report will clearly show you. If I click on the clear all on the top, it will bring me back to the previous report. Now clicking on any scheme will show a fact sheet of that scheme. A fact sheet has all the parameters of that scheme straight from the as given by the AMC, which in this case is Axis Mutual Fund. So you can see the launch date of the scheme that you're holding, the category of that scheme, equity multicap, the benchmark as prescribed by the AMC, and the scheme details are also mentioned on the right. Now this graph basically shows you how the NAV of the scheme has changed with respect to time, and you can see this across multiple time periods, how the NAV has changed with time. Since this is a recent fund, the 5-year return is not there, but you can also scroll down and see the trailing returns across different time periods and the calendar year returns. This graph shows you how this scheme has performed with respect to its prescribed benchmark. The top holdings of the scheme are also mentioned at the bottom, and a rolling return is also given. Let's see another scheme which is a little bit older. Okay, so for this scheme, you can see the NAV graph and you can download the fact sheet of this scheme by clicking on the PDF icon on the top right corner. This would just give you a 1 to 2 page report of the scheme's performance. Let me zoom in. So it shows you the how the performance of the scheme is in the last 3 years and the holdings of this scheme as on the last month. You can also see this report family member wise. In case you have a family login, you can click on the investor option and click on apply. So it will list investor wise what is the portfolio valuation. Now the other ways to see this report is if you can see it PDF. When you click on PDF, it will show you a lot of options, but most probably your advisor would have configured a few of the options as default. So you can just click on PDF and then click on apply to download the report as the advisor recommends. Now, choosing on category, there are 4 report types when you choose PDF. One is category, subcategory, transaction, and client wise. If you choose category and click on apply, now all these check marks here are related to sections of the report. So you can choose whether or not to see a section or not. This is the portfolio report. The investment snapshot since inception on the top shows you the cash flow in your portfolio since the beginning, since inception. So it has all the investments and redemptions that you have ever made, and the IRR, the total IRR for those investments. This shows you the current asset allocation, and if you scroll below, you can see the current allocation fund wise, by scheme, by subcategory, and by holding. So for equity, you can see by scrip and by sector, and for debt, you can see by paper or by rating of the debt holdings. Now, below this, we have a scheme wise portfolio report, the same one that you saw before on the screen, you can see in the PDF as well. So it shows you all the same columns that we saw on the web. And at the bottom, you can also see if you have other types of assets apart from mutual funds, you can see all of them together in one report. You can see shares and bonds, fixed deposits in case you have recorded them in the portal, insurance policies that you have, and you can also have this report sent to you at a frequency on email every month or every quarter. You can ask your advisor to email this to you. So if you click on email and then click on apply, it will send you a portfolio report on email, which will sort of look like this, but it would basically have your report as an attachment. Now, moving on, you can also see this report in the Excel format. So if you choose XLS, you can download your portfolio return in a Excel format. Now we'll move on to the portfolio summary report. The difference between the portfolio valuation and portfolio summary is that the portfolio summary report shows you the realized and the unrealized gain together, and the portfolio valuation shows you only the unrealized gain of the currently held units. So this is the summary report of all your investments, even the ones that you have sold off. Now the portfolio summary reports has a lot of columns. So here it shows you the folio number, the name of the investor. If you have a family account, there will be multiple investors here. The scheme name, the purchase amount, the total amount that you have purchased in the scheme, the amount that you have switched in, dividend reinvestment amount, the sell amount, redemption amount, switch out amount, the balance units as on today, and the purchase cost of the currently held units. The current value that you have in this scheme, and the amount that you got from dividend paid. The realized gain that you have booked, so this is the booked profit, realized gain. Unrealized gain is the profit that you stand to make as on today. The absolute return on these two gains, and the IRR return of this scheme. So the total IRR return is mentioned on the top right corner. If you click on transact, it will take you to the online investment module and open this scheme. We'll see that in a few moments. So as I said, there are a lot of configurations that you can use to see this report. You can choose to see this report for any particular time period as well. So you can enter any from date, and you can enter any to date and see the return of your portfolio between these two chosen dates. So here you will notice that a opening balance column has come now. So the opening balance is mentioned here, and the IRR of that time period, the chosen time period, is shown here. Can also take this report in the PDF format and choose any sections that you want. So this is another format of the portfolio report. The top section is the same as the previous report, but the bottom section shows you what we saw on the web screen. So the opening balance and all these cash flow columns have come, and a IRR return is mentioned at the right. So this has all your assets, even the ones that you have sold. The return on those assets is also included. Now we'll move on to the capital gain report. So this is the income tax report that you can use to see how much is the tax payable for a particular financial year. So you can come here and see on the screen for any chosen asset class for of given financial year what is the capital gain that is payable. So we categorize the capital gain in four categories: short term debt, short term equity, and long term debt and long term equity. But we also further categorized long term equity into long term equity before 31st January and after 31st January. So this report is required by your chartered accountant to file your income tax returns. If you click on any of the sections, it will expand and show you the schemes that have a gain in that particular section. So in short term debt there are two schemes, and this is the taxable gain on those schemes. Now if you click on the folio number, it will drill down further to see, to show you what all were the sell transactions and how have they cancelled out the purchase transaction, and you can see the gain for each transaction, and how you can see the entire working of how the taxable capital gain has been calculated. This report can be taken out in a PDF format also. So there are three formats available. The summary format will show you a folio wise capital gain, and this is a short format of the capital gain report. So it will categorize into short term debt, is in long term debt, short term equity, and long term equity. If there are no gain for a particular category, then it will come as blank. And further, long term equity has been split up into gain for purchases made before 31st January, for which grandfathering would be applicable, and gain after 31st January, for which there will be no grandfathering. Shares and bonds are also listed here. If there is any intraday gain made on share purchase and sell, that is listed separately. Yeah, if there is any TDS cut, that is also mentioned in a separate section, and a valuation report as on 31st March of that financial year is also given at the bottom. If this report is taken out for an entire family, it will show you family member wise capital gain one below the other, and then it will give you a summary across all family members. Now we can go to the capital gain report. The next report is used to see the capital gain if you were to sell as on today's rates. So this report is useful for planning a redemption, to see what scheme you should sell, which is, say for example, underperforming and is not short term, so there is less tax liability. Even ELSS schemes come here in capital gain unrealized, so you can see if any ELSS scheme is locked or unlocked, it will be shown over here as a separate category. Now you can also record other assets in this online viewer. You can enter any shares and bonds that you have made through your share broker. You can click on the add transaction button here and then add these share and bond transaction. So all scripts are available here. You can enter the price units and add the shares. Similarly, fixed deposits also, you can click on the tab of FD and then click on add transaction to add a FD transaction that you have. Can edit any transaction using the actions on the right. In other assets, you can add any property, gold, or any other type of asset that you may hold. Any PPF also you can add. So this is just basically we'll record a value and add that value to the portfolio and also to the IRR of your total portfolio. So this way you can maintain a consolidated portfolio of all your investments in one place. In the insurance menu, you can record insurance policies. Life, health insurance, and general insurance policies can be recorded so that you can maintain all of this data in one place. You can click on the add insurance button on the top right and then enter the insurance policy details and also upload the policy document. Now, the Invest Online module is split up into two portions. One is the new investment section. This is useful in case you want to invest in any new scheme or a new folio. So you can browse around and find any good scheme to invest in, or if your advisor has recommended a scheme, you can find a scheme using the search on the top and then select that scheme. Clicking on the scheme name will open the fact sheet, and clicking on the transact button will open a order placing form. So you can choose whether you want to do a lump sum purchase or a SIP. You can choose the scheme type, either growth or dividend. You can choose how much you want to invest, and you can either choose send payment link on email. If this option is chosen and you click on place order, this will send an email from the exchange to your email ID, in which you have to click on that link and then proceed with the payment. If you choose pay now, there are a few payment modes available. Now this depends on the exchange that is configured in your portal, but you can choose to invest via net banking. If you click on place order, it will open the net banking portal directly, and you have to log into your bank and then transfer the funds to invest online. You can also place an order through NEFT. Here it is assumed that you have already transferred the amount to the exchange pool account and you have a reference number. So you have to enter the reference number here and then click on place order. You can also place a transaction through UPI. So here you have to enter your UPI ID and then click on place order. This will trigger a payment collection request to your UPI app, and you have to open your app and then transfer the funds using UPI payment. So this way you can invest in any scheme and you can do a lump sum purchase, or you can do a SIP also in any new scheme. For a SIP, I can choose the frequency of SIP, and then I can choose the installment amount, the start date, and then choose a mandate here and then place order. So now the other menu is the additional transaction menu. You can use this to either do an additional purchase or start an SIP in an existing scheme that you hold currently, or do a switch or a redemption. So the additional transaction menu first of all lists all the folios that you have currently and gives you a transact button against each of these folios. When you click on transact button, an order placing form opens up and you can choose what type of order that you want to do. So if you want to do a purchase, then you can choose the scheme type and then go on with the purchase, or you can do a switch. Now the good thing here is once you choose switch or redemption, the system will show you the locked or unlocked units, or the short term or long term units. So locked or unlocked units is shown in case the scheme is a ELSS scheme, or a children gift saving schemes, or a retirement saving scheme. Any of those solution oriented schemes where there is a locking concept of the units, the locked and unlocked units are shown. So you basically want to choose the number of unlocked units and then proceed with the transaction. You can choose any of the target schemes available in this AMC and then transfer either all units or a specific amount, and click on place order to execute the transaction. So all these transactions have to be confirmed. All these switch and redemption transactions and SIP transactions have to be confirmed by accepting the link that is sent by the exchange on your email ID. If we click on the folio number here, it will open this SOA, which is basically a list of all transactions in this particular folio since inception. So you can see all the transactions and the source of this transaction also, along with the running balance. So this is basically a ledger of this folio. The My Orders menu will show you the list of orders that have been placed between these two dates, and you can see the status of the order. Now moving on, there is a feature called My Documents where you can store all your personal documents related to the portfolio viewer. We'll also see the goal planner, which you can use to you can use it with your advisor, or you can do it yourself. You can enter your goals here and see if your goals, if you have enough money to meet all of your goals, and how much money do you have to invest more to achieve them. So I'll link a separate video on how to use the goal planner effectively, and you can see that for further details. Can click on the PDF icon on the top right corner to download the goal report. So this is how the goal report looks. It will show you the list of all the goals that you have made in the system, that you have recorded in the system, and based on the folios assigned to the goal, how much is the investment required to meet the goals. My folios menu shows you a quick view of the folios that you have in the system and how much amount is in each of them. You can download this in an Excel also if you wish. Okay, that's all for now. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below, or you can ask your financial advisor to help you with the same. We also have a mobile app, and I'll be linking the description on how to use the mobile app I'll be linking the video in the description below. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.